Put your hand on the table. Like, actually do it. Feel that? That solid, real, definitely there table? Yeah, you're not touching it. You've never touched anything your entire life. Not the table, not your phone, not a single person you've ever hugged. And I can prove it. So, buckle up. Let's zoom in, way in, past your skin, past the cells, all the way down to a single atom in your fingertips. And here's the first insane thing. An atom is basically empty, offensively empty. If an atom were the size of a football stadium, the part in the middle, the bit that actually matters, would be 1p sitting on the center spot. Everything else is nothing, just space. You, my friend, are a stadium full of peas, pretending to be a person. So, if you're mostly nothing, and the table is mostly nothing, why don't you just fall straight through it? Why isn't everyone sinking through the floor like a sad ghost? Great question. The answer is electrons. Every atom is wearing a little cloud of them on the outside, and electrons have one very strong opinion. They hate each other. They're all negatively charged, and the rule of the universe is same charges push apart. So, when your hand comes down on the table, the electrons in your hand get close to the electrons in the table and they go, absolutely not. And they shove, hard. You stop, not because you hit something, because you got pushed. Here's the part that should bother you. You're not resting on the table. You're hovering, a tiny, tiny fraction of a nanometer above it, held up by an invisible force, forever floating, never landing. That feeling you call touch, that's not contact. That's the force. It's an electromagnetic repulsion, and your brain just labels it solid because that's a more useful thing to feel than I'm being repelled by a field. Your whole sense of touch is a lie your brain tells you to be helpful. Okay, but it gets worse. Let's talk about the floor. Right now, you think the floor is holding you up. It's not. A force is holding you up. You are levitating above the planet on a cushion of mutual disgust between electrons. Every chair you've sat in, you are floating. Every step you've taken, you never landed. You've been hovering your whole life, and nobody told you. And now, the sad one. The hug. When you hug someone you love, your atoms get close to their atoms, and right at the last moment, the electrons say no. And they push back. You never actually touch them. There is always a gap. A microscopic no man's land that has never, not once, been crossed. Two people can spend 50 years together and stay technically, physically, a hair apart the entire time. Okay, quick aside. If you've ever watched Jujutsu Kaisen or JJK, this is going to sound really familiar, because this is basically Gojo, Satoru Gojo. White hair, blindfold, the strongest guy in the show. His power is called Limitless, and his signature move, Infinity, does exactly this. He takes the space in front of him and slices it into infinitely many pieces. So when you swing at him, you get closer and closer and slower and slower. The gap keeps halving, and you never arrive. You just hang there, a hair from his face, forever, losing to empty space. And here's the kicker. That's not made-up anime nonsense. It's a real 2,000-year-old math puzzle. Zeno's paradox. Achilles races a tortoise and gives it a head start. To catch up, he first has to reach where the tortoise was. But by then, it's crept forward a bit. So he reaches that spot, and it's moved again. And again, forever. Infinite little gaps. He closes the distance for eternity and never actually catches it. That is Gojo's infinity. And it is weirdly almost exactly what your electrons are doing right now. Every object you hold is running a cheap, weak knockoff of Limitless. There's always a smaller gap, and real contact never happens. Oh, and that electron shove from earlier, Gojo's got that one too. He's got red, which repels, blasting things away, and blue, which attracts, yanking them in. Push and pull, which is the exact thing electric charge does. Repel and attract. The anime didn't invent any of this. It just gave it cooler lighting and a blindfold. Okay, deep breath, because I promise this is going somewhere nicer. Let's ask the obvious question. If you never touch anything, then what is touch? What is happening when you feel a handshake or a warm hug or someone's hand on your shoulder? Here's the answer, and it's kind of beautiful. The thing you're really feeling is one of the 4 fundamental forces of the universe, the same force that powers lightning and magnets and literally every screen you've ever looked at. When you touch something, you are personally feeling a fundamental force of nature do its job. That is not less than touching. That is so much more than touching. And think about what that means. The reason you can hold a cup, type a message, catch a ball, feel rain, is the exact same reason stars shine and atoms hold together. You're not separate from the physics of the universe. You're running it, constantly. Every second of your life is a physics demo, and you're the one holding the props. Now, here's the thing that flips the whole sad part on its head. Yes, there's always a gap. You never close it. But that gap is the only reason anything exists at all. If electrons didn't push back, every atom would collapse into every other atom, and the whole universe would crunch down into a single dense nothing. No stars, no planets, no you. That little refusal to touch, that tiny push, that microscopic no, is the thing holding the entire universe apart. So there's room for stuff to happen. The gap isn't keeping you away from the world. The gap is what lets there be a world. So no, you've never touched anything, and you never will. But here's the difference between you and Gojo. His infinity is perfect. Nothing gets in. Nothing ever reaches him. And that's exactly why the strongest man alive is also the loneliest one. Nobody can ever truly reach him. Your gap isn't perfect. Your gap is tiny. And across that impossible little space, a fundamental force of the universe reaches every second of the day just so you can feel the people you love. You don't have infinity, and thank God for that, because a world you can't touch is a world that can't touch you back. So, go find someone and hold on. You won't technically reach them, you'll stay a hair apart forever, but the universe will carry it across that gap for you, every single time. And honestly, that's the closest thing to real magic we've got. Real quick though, if this was entertaining and weirdly educational, do me a favor and hit like and subscribe. It helps more than you think. And if you want another one right now, that video right there is my last one. Go check it out. See you next time. Go push some electrons around.